time the University of Newcastle has held the Mini Electric Vehicle Workshop, hoping to encourage more involvement in science and engineering.
So it's basically about getting from young people through to those who might be still young of heart or have that inquiring mind and want to actually grow their interest.
Building and racing was the focus, with the turnout only expected to grow next year.
We're really surprised. Amazing. We thought with the tiny little advertising window, we thought, well, we might get 50 people, families coming along. It went exponentially.
Lauren Kemp, NBN News.
After being devastated by fire last year, the Richmond Vale Railway Museum has bounced back, holding its Cranky Handle Rally this weekend. The annual rally demonstrates old farm machinery with a focus on preserving engines and tractors from days gone by.
These things, if we don't pass them on to our younger generation to restore, and they're not going to be around.
The display winds up tomorrow afternoon. The school formal is a rite of passage for any teenager, but for some it can be a struggle to afford the glitz and glam. But an initiative is seeing hundreds of suits and frocks donated across the Hunter, so all students can have the chance to attend their big night in style.
Picking out a formal dress is a whole lot easier when the price tag isn't a concern. And for students at Toronto High School, there's plenty to choose from. From Us to You is in the second year of the Browse, Try and Take event. Organiser Vanjie McKay wants to make sure every local teenager can enjoy a major milestone.
Some of the dresses have price tags on them that are, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. The quality's beautiful and there's just such a huge variety as well.
Around 1,000 items from head to toe have all been donated by people and businesses. Hugh, Alana Hill and Mimco are just some of the high-end brands in the mix.
There's people that have got dresses in their cupboard that have been worn once, so why not give them away?
Hundreds of other items are up for grabs at schools around the Hunter, with more being sent to drought-affected areas. Vanjie hopes to expand the initiative in the coming years.
I would love for it to be a national program, so every year students have the opportunity to come and browse, try and take formal wear for free.
Lauren Kemp, NBN News.
Still to come, the death toll continues to rise as monsoon rains flood parts of India.
In the future, the SUV is intelligent. It sees things before you see them. Knows things before you know. It reads between the lines and creates spaces to grow into. Because the one sure thing about the future, it always becomes the present. Brand new Mazda CX-8 diesel, future ready. We know what families love for dinner, so we've dropped the price of 1 kilo Woolworths beef mince to just $7.
That's why I pick Woolies.
Don't miss huge savings at Lazy Boy Furniture Gallery's massive winter price drop. With discounts store-wide, like 25% off all lounge suites and 30% off all recliners, Nordic and lift chairs. Hurry into Hortons, Katara and Rutherford now.
Brilliance presents fashionable hair colours from the catwalk. New Brilliance with 2 diamond gloss colour treatments. Brilliant colours for up to 9 weeks. The new Brilliance in 22 fashionable colours on Schwarzkopf.
If a sore back is keeping you up at night, get into 40 Winks, your back's biggest supporter. Right now, save up to 50% off all mattresses in our back care range. But hurry, sale ends Sunday. 40 Winks, serious about sleep.
We know families get hungry, so we've dropped the price of 500 gram Zaffarelli pasta to just $1.50.
That's why I pick Woolies.
Introducing Hyundai's small SUV, Kona, with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto and head-up display. Starting from just $26,990 drive away. See your Hyundai dealer today.
The Newcastle Spring Sale on now. Up to half price on selected items. Save up to half price. The Newcastle Spring Sale on now.
When's the best time to book your flight? now. Just add price drop protection to your airfare from an extra $19. And if the price drops before you fly, we'll give you the difference back. That's why we're best in the air.
And everywhere. We know families are busy, so we've dropped the price of 500-gram Raggoletto pasta sauce to just $1.70.
That's why I pick Woolies. Zoom Zoom. Feel it. Own it. This August, new look Mazda BT50 Utes get extra value with 3 years, 45,000-kilometre free scheduled servicing and 3 years roadside assist. Go for BT50 4x4 XT from just $39,990 drive away, or Mazda BT50 4x4 GT from only $49,990 drive away. With 5 years unlimited kilometre warranty now standard across the range, it's time to own Zoom Zoom. Time to go.
The Prime Minister has done a major about-face on his energy policy, dumping plans to put emission targets into law. But as questions circle over his leadership, disgruntled MPs say the policy shift might have done Mr Turnbull more harm than good.
No longer in the driver's seat, Malcolm Turnbull is trying to hang on as Prime Minister. Have you backed away from the emissions targets to save your job?
Look, thank you. We've had some doing great work on energy.
Desperate to appease worried government MPs, Malcolm Turnbull's backflipped on his own energy plan, opting to regulate emission reduction targets rather than legislate them.
It's no way to run a government, making absolute commitments on Tuesday and breaking them on Friday.
The policy change was designed to remove the threat of coalition MPs crossing the floor, but some say it's done the opposite.
My position is I'm reserving my right to cross the floor.
Is this going to bring down power prices? It doesn't. That's not much is.
You can't put pig on a lipstick and, pretend it's the homecoming queen. Pretend it's the homecoming queen.
And the troubles deepen.
Are you ruling out resigning from the front bench?
Keith Pitt won't.
Continue to have those discussions, and we are looking for outcomes on pricing.
Senior government sources say Tony Abbott has been smelling leadership blood. Having demanded policy change, the former Prime Minister says dumping legislated targets is the wrong change.
Maybe the only chance the coalition has to win the next election is to say we're scrapping the Paris deal.
And as the energy debate turns into one over leadership...
Have you spoken to Peter Dutton, Prime Minister?
The Home Affairs Minister, touted as a potential challenger, tweeted, "The Prime Minister has my support, and I support the policies of the government." Malcolm Turnbull's now trying to seize control of the energy issue and force prices down. 9 News understands a new suite of measures will be announced early next week, including an intervention into the market to give government greater influence over prices. But it might not be enough to stop the power games in his own government. One coalition MP told 9 News the Prime Minister has weakened himself and the numbers against him are rising.
Will lead the government to the next election?
Of course he will.
For the Prime Minister, there'll be a brief escape tomorrow heading to rural New South Wales. Will he be bearing gifts? Jonathan Kersley has the latest.
The Prime Minister will be trying to turn his attention away from the leadership and energy debate. 9 News understands tax breaks for farmers will be announced tomorrow. So too tens of millions of dollars to be pledged for drought-affected communities in New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland. It's understood the money will be announced as part of the next phase of government assistance. About 50 councils will get access to grants that could go towards things like local infrastructure projects. Then, tomorrow night, the Prime Minister will be back in Canberra for dinner with his cabinet at the Lodge, discussing that all-important rejigged energy plan.
Jonathan Kersley there reporting from Canberra. The worst flooding the Indian state of Kerala has seen in 100 years has hit, killing at least 324 people. Rescue teams are pulling people from raging waters. One woman was airlifted to safety just moments before giving birth.
The scale of this natural disaster in an already poor region seems overwhelming. The worst monsoon flooding in nearly a century has buried homes and buildings underwater, triggering landslides that have taken out many more. More than 300 people have already died. Hundreds of thousands have been made homeless. This man appeals to the world over social media. I hope you can see this, he says. Please pray for us. But the people of Kerala State need more than prayers. The Air Force is a flying angel, swooping in and rescuing those stranded on rooftops. As this heavily pregnant woman was rescued, her waters broke. She managed to make it to hospital, where she gave birth. People are doing their best to get out of harm's way before more heavy rain hits, but with so many people seeking safety, it's difficult to leave. It's hard to believe this state was a popular tourist destination with palm trees and scenic beaches. Now, a red alert is in place and the region is bracing for even more destruction. Jane Goldsmith, NBN News.
An 18-year-old woman who shoved her friend off a bridge in the US, leaving her with broken ribs and punctured lungs, has been charged with reckless endangerment. Taylor Smith claims the 16-year-old asked to be pushed because she was nervous about jumping from the bridge in Washington state. Ms. Smith admitted she never thought about the consequences and now faces a year in jail.